Hello, and welcome back to another edition of HCISD Spotlight. I'm Natalie Garcia, and with us today is Gabriel Garcia and Brenda Garcia, going to talk to you all about the Child Abuse Awareness 5K walk that will take place on Saturday, April 7th. What is this fundraiser for?
For the past 5 years, we've been hosting the Prevent Child Abuse Walk for funds so we could raise for child abuse entities that help promote and make the community aware of child abuse and programs that we do offer in the community. This year we partnered up with Maggie and Monica's house out of San Benito, and this is a tradition that we have been having for the past 5 years, so we just want to continue it going. In the past we would partner up with Prevent Child Abuse Texas, and unfortunately, Prevent Child Abuse Texas doesn't exist anymore. So all those educational resources, trainings, and stuff like that we would depend on to educate the community is no longer available. So last year we partnered up with Valley Haven because of their cause, and this year we partnered up with Maggie and Monica's house.
What exactly is this teen parenting program all about?
The teen parenting program was established in 1989, so it's been here for a while. What we do is we try to get teen moms that are in school while they're in school and they get pregnant. We try to offer them services so they could stay in school. So we offer services such as daycare, we offer transportation, and we offer the teen parenting class. And in the teen parenting class is in my curriculum when I teach, we talk about child abuse, neglect, and we go over shaken baby syndrome. We go over all of these things, and during those conversations, my students have told me, hey miss, I've gone to Maggie and Monica's house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's very important for us to talk about these venues like child abuse so we can make sure that, we could end this epidemic.
How did HCISD get involved with Monica and Maggie's house?
HCISD got involved with Monica and Maggie's house because of Maggie's parents, Kathy and Mark Dittman. Maggie was murdered by her caregiver at her own home, and she was a victim of, shaken baby syndrome. Mark and Kathy lobbied with the Shaken Baby Alliance in Austin, Texas, to pass laws that would train caregivers, because I also run a daycare there at Keys Academy. And what we're required to have specific training in shaken baby syndrome and abusive head trauma, and Maggie's parents did that. So they changed the law so we can be educated on shaken baby syndrome and child abuse and neglect, which every caregiver in the state of Texas has to have that training in their folder.
What events do you do at your teen class?
So the events that we recently picked up to promote child abuse and awareness and neglect is that most of our teen moms are minors. So, we try to emphasize healthy relationships, and, in my curriculum, I teach them about healthy relationship, good relationship versus bad relationship, and domestic violence. We do bring in the women's shelter to do a presentation on domestic violence as well. I think it's very important that, our teenagers know, especially if they're having their own families, that it's very important to grow up in a healthy environment for them and for their children. We started doing domestic violence awareness because my husband's aunt, she was murdered by her husband. And I think it's very important because even though she was an adult, she was in an abusive relationship. And I think it's very important that, we share our stories to our students so they can be aware of these are the realities that can happen, and we hope that they don't happen. So that is one thing that we do pick up. We also work closely with the Crisis Center, and so when they come and they show their presentations and the girls know where to go, they're better equipped to accept a healthy relationship rather than an unhealthy one. So that's something else that we do at the teen parenting program to promote abuse awareness.
What is the Maggie house?
Yes. So Maggie's House is actually a nonprofit organization that works closely with children who are going through an investigation of child abuse. Maggie's House is part of the Children's Advocacy Centers of Texas. There's about 70 or 80 of them all around Texas, and Maggie's House is one that serves both Cameron and Willacy County. We also have Monica's House in Brownsville that serves both Cameron and Willacy County. And Maggie's House in San Benito is actually named after Maggie Dittman, who is the daughter of Mark and Kathy Dittman, and unfortunately at the age of 2 was killed due to shaken baby syndrome. And so we dedicated our house in her name and in her memory. And we work with children ages 2 to about 17 or 18 who have gone through who are going through an investigation of child abuse. Law enforcement, CPS, they schedule what is called a forensic interview at our agency, where one of our trained staff members sits down with the child in a non-threatening, very comfortable setting, one-on-one, where the staff member can then interview the child to gain details about the incident. And we work with children who have gone through physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, and also child witness to any other crimes. One of the main misconceptions of Maggie's House is that we are maybe a shelter or foster care or something of that sort, but we are not. We do not take, walk-ins or anything of that sort. All the children that do come through our facility are scheduled through CPS and through different law enforcement agencies. We cannot schedule any interviews ourselves. So we are an independent agency in that regard. We only conduct the forensic interviews on site, and we also do provide free counseling for the children that come through our facility. And we do have a policy, once a client, always a client. So if if unfortunately you were abused at the age of 6 or 8 and you want to come back for therapy at the age of 28, you're more than welcome to walk in and start conducting therapy with our therapists on site.
So you're going to host a walk. How much is it, and who can actually participate in it, and how much, or when is it?
The walk is April 7th. It's on a Saturday. Anyone could participate. We're collecting the funds for the Maggie and Monica's House and for the teen parenting program. The cost is $25 for adults, and for children 12 and under are $10. If the adults want to participate in the 1 mile fun run that we have, it's $10, and children under the age of 12 are free.
What other events take place throughout the year to inform about abuse and child abuse?
To the community?
Yes.
Well, we do have this child abuse prevention 5K run and walk taking place April 7th. On the April 3rd of the same month, we're actually having our annual candlelight vigil at Maggie's House in San Benito. And, April is National Child Abuse Awareness Month. So it is a very important month for us to just overall bring as much awareness to child abuse as possible. Unfortunately, child abuse is a very whispered about issue, and it's a issue that kind of lives in the shadows, unfortunately. And with this awareness, we just kind of like to shed a light on a lot of these children who are unfortunately, some are a little bit maybe too scared to, make an outcry of child abuse or come forward with allegations of child abuse. So our efforts are to more shine a light on this, issue that kind of lives in the shadows and kind of gives them an opportunity to come forward. And so this is a very important month for us. Later on during the summer, us at Maggie's House, we do like to put together a back to school drive for school supplies. Anything involving school supplies, we do receive donations. We are a nonprofit organization, so we do reach out to our community pretty often. Our last year our back to school drive was an incredible success, so we hope to have another success this year. And all of those back to school items go to the children who have come through our facility with allegations of abuse. It goes all back to them. And then of course later on during the year we do have our annual Christmas party, and we also do take donations for that event because again, all of those Christmas donations, whether it be toys or anything like that, go back to the children that we do serve in both Cameron and Willacy County.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. That does it for this edition of HCISD Spotlight. Be sure to like our Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Natalie Garcia.